Welcome to today's Swarf and Chips. We are bringing EMO over to Coventry.
Well, not strictly true, because EMO for DMG MORI was one huge hall, 44 machines. I think 24 of them had automation on, but you've got a number of machines here with automation, and that's the theme.
That is the theme of today, and we're going to take you on a bit of a guide as to what you're going to see on today's Swarf and Chips show. Let's start here at the NHX 4000. Now, a big plus that came from the merger of DMG MORI was their Speedmaster spindle. The reliability and power of this spindle has been incredible for the company.
Yeah, and one thing you can't miss is the RPS 21 system on here. You know, I saw this being built in Fronton with Paul.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Incredible. And they've got a 3-year indefinite warranty on that machine, but you'll find out more about it later. Now, a lot of the machines and what DMG MORI are famed for is their solid block casting. And this is interesting because this is solid block casting, but with automation on the side. And this is the DMC 65 monoblock.
Now, talking about the monoblock, you're right there, but also Fronton, they build 650 machines. They're ramping up because there's further a year, that is, Lyndsey.
Yeah.
And also, there's over 5,000 monoblocks currently being used in the world.
It's amazing, isn't it? Great machine.
And that's the best seller. The 75 now is the best seller.
The best seller for them. And now they're obviously adding automation on. Now we're moving on to the CMX50U. Interesting here, from a previous model, this control system, on the pallet system has been moved over to here, which has its price advantages, and we'll be covering this machine a bit later.
And also you've got the PH150 system. I think there's 9 pallets on that. Yet again, automation is very key at DMG MORI.
Definitely. And I think you can make heavier automation as well, heavier and bigger parts on that. So next up we've got the RobotoGo. We'll be covering all of these in more detail later on.
Well, one thing I like about this machine, obviously you see a turning machine that it's been used on. There's 3 variations of this. This is a CTX, as you can see. Now, incredibly, next year, as I understand, DMG MORI will be bringing out a RobotoGo that will be going from turning to milling.
Wow.
Now that's going to be quite special.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of cameras and everything on those as well. Which,
exactly, you can see the footprint of it, but you know, this is the way to go if you need to automate and basically be cost effective.
And not just high production, same part repeatability. We're talking about unique parts, different batch runs as well.
Yep, very much,
we move
Lyndsey.
on.
Yep.
So the DMP70 solid block casting here. This machine is so fast, it has 1.5 Gs of acceleration. We'd be like a splat if we experienced that.
Well, there's certain people at, well, what can I say, in the company that might experience a bit of G-force. But anyway, yet again, you know, you've got automation again. This is the theme of the DMG MORI Open House, which has come all the way from EMO 2019.
Yeah, and later on in the show, it's not just about Mark and Paul. I'll be talking about additive manufacturing on their Lasertec machine, automation, and more coming up on today's Swarf and Chips.
Steve, the first day of your open house, early doors, not many people here because you haven't opened them yet, but what I really want to talk to you about today is that your open houses are very well attended, but there's a common theme from EMO, isn't there?
Yes, the automation is a big thing here. So we're looking at about 14 machines on show, of which 9 of them have got automation, whether it's a lathe or whether it's a machining centre, 3 or 4 or 5 axis machine. Gives the customer lots and lots of opportunities.
Now we're going to give a bit of a flavour on some of the machines today, but for engineers that are really looking for a complete machining package, what does DMG MORI UK offer?
Well, we start really from the basics of let's look at the specification, let's look at the right specification for the customer. We take it through the proposal stage, ensure that it's the right specification all the way through, technically, and then look at the commercials, and of course that's where we come in with DMG MORI Finance. So we can look after the whole package all the way through and finance it off for the customer.
You say finance, how does that actually work, Steve?
Well, the finance is DMG MORI Finance. It's our own book. We have our own rules and regulations which we adhere to. Clearly we've got regulation that we work to within the banking criteria, but we can decide who to lend to, how to lend to, and in which fashion it is as well. And it's our choice because we want to actually encourage manufacturing. We only ever finance machine tools, and they're only ever DMG MORI machines.
And does that give you a distinct advantage in the marketplace against other machine tool manufacturers?
Huge. We've got a customer that will be coming later on today. He wants to buy 2 machines. He can't afford to buy them or he doesn't want to buy them until next April, which is his financial year. We can deliver them actually within the next few weeks. Payment will start in April.
And one thing I've noticed, you seem to have more partners than ever here. Is there a common theme with that, or is it just a matter of the options that you can actually serve some of your customers with?
Partners are very important. The suppliers are very, very important. If they don't do exactly what we say we're going to do and they don't follow with us, then the whole thing falls over. We're not experts in the cutting tools, we're not experts in the cam side, so these guys come along to support us and to support the customer.
Now, coming to the point, there'll be a lot of engineers out there that have busy lives, not been to EMO, missed you here at your open house as well. I know you have stock available because you always do after an open house, but what would be your message to them?
Well, you'll walk around today and you'll see some of the machines have got sold stickers on. I have got some more that are coming in to replenish that before the end of the year, and there's also quite a few machines here that are available for immediate delivery. So we've got to keep that stock process going. We have to look at the turn, we have to look at end of year figures, but it's actually important that the customer has the choice. So actually come along in the next few weeks, there's still plenty to look at, plenty to choose from.
So Neil, this DMP70, now this is a slightly different machine to the other 5-axis we've seen here today. Tell us about why they've introduced this model and where it fits.
Yeah, well this machine, it's really designed for light milling and drilling. When I say light milling, I mean it will machine any material. At the moment we've got a titanium demo with a medical part, which is very popular within the medical industry. But remember, light milling with drilling.
I can't believe how fast it is when you look in there and see that table moving. I actually was talking to one of your colleagues that said that the C-axis will actually rotate at 100 RPM, the A-axis at 50 RPM, but the actual, all the dynamics of the machine, it's so fast.
Yeah, it's very quick, also simultaneous, not just positional. 60 metres rapid, but it's very quick reaction time too. So we're looking at 1.5 G it pulls. So as you can see, it processes very quickly. It's a rapid machine.
Is there a disadvantage to having the tool changer like this as well, though? Is the idea just for that speed, to get the tools from tool to tool as quick as possible?
Well, yeah, it changes in 1.5 seconds. So that's the main reason for having that type of design. But it's also a very rigid design. We have some of our competitors who have a similar design, but if you look at it closely, this is a lot beefed up, so it is more suitable for milling.
Well, it is a BBT30 as well, isn't it? And things have moved on a lot on BBT.
Yeah, BT30, but big plus. But we are actually going to release it with BT40 as well. But at the moment, BT30, 24,000 RPM, 26 tools, 15 tools standard, so 26 tools is an option. And we do a various range of speeds, spindle speeds as well, but the 24,000 tends to be the most popular spindle that we put in this machine.
The automation on show here as well then, this is a WH3 cell, this is a DMG MORI product, fully integrated to this machine. The idea behind this again is the unmanned run, isn't it?
Yeah, well, as we go around the machines, you'll see that we've got a strong emphasis on automation all throughout, as we did at EMO this year. But this particular machine, WH3, which is built by Deckel Maho in Saybach, where the machine is built in Saybach as well, and it's man running, and it's a very quick, small robot. And again, this one is very popular for the medical industry, as you'll see when it runs. And there's also there's some visualization with the robot as well.
What you can't see from here as well is you've got a drawer system, a stacking system as well. So it's not just a tray at the top. You can have maybe 6 or 8 trays in there, but also double that because there are trays at the back too.
Correct. Yeah, we've got on this one here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 trays at the front, 5 trays at the back. So it's very easy to reload whether you're at the front or back or whatever. And one other thing to think of as well is we don't have to have the robot on the right hand side. It's all, the machine is built so we can put the automation either side.
When you look at this part on here, it has to be positioned in a certain orientation. Is that where your vision system applies here to make sure someone puts it in correctly?
Yeah, that's correct too. What it does, the robot picks the part up, puts it onto the stand or onto the check-in fixture, which is then checked by laser. And if it has been accidentally loaded the wrong way, the robot will pick it up and it'll drop it off into a drawer, where it'll manually be put back into the drawer, but in the right way. So there's no way the part can go in the wrong way around, because if it did, well, it would stop production. So it's important that it goes in the right way.
So high speed, precision, fast, and obviously automated.
Yeah, absolutely. So medical industry, a lot of industry it goes into, but it suits any industry with light milling and drilling.
Gary, I've known Gemtech for many years. Now, you have a lot of great relationships with machine tool builders, but a very strong one with DMG MORI over the years. Now, most engineers may know Gemtech for being the UK distributor of Blaser, one of the best, high-grade lubricants in the marketplace. However, there's a little bit more to Gemtech than maybe just being a distributor of Blaser. Tell me a bit more.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, yeah, as you quite rightly say, Gemtech are known to be the UK agent for Blaser Swiss Lube. We've been that for over 20 years now. But more importantly, in our portfolio, we have two products. One is the Oracle coolant management system, and also we have the UK agent for H filtration. Firstly, I'll start with H filtration. H filtration are an Italian manufacturer, and obviously we're the agent for them, and we supply basically mist extraction, smoke extraction and dust extraction systems for the UK market. So we are the UK agent for about 10 years now, so that's what we cover in that sort of sector. Now the Oracle is sort of the more interesting part of the portfolio. This is a Gemtech designed, manufactured in the UK product. It was launched into the UK market just over 2 years ago, and it's been sort of developed, and it's still ongoing, well, not ongoing development, but it's changing and we're improving, and the systems are changing as we go on.
Now, I've been to one of your customers called High Force now. I've seen the systems in there, but they were explaining to me that basically it's cleaning the lubricant to make it last longer, tool life, etc. Is that basically what it does?
Probably a little bit more in depth than that. I mean, the system is designed to control, monitor and report back the condition of the coolant. So basically you have one system is a single sump. We now have got a dual sump which will do 2 tanks in one go. The idea is that the system checks the pH and the concentration of the coolant. It then will fill up the tank at the desired spec. Basically you program the machine with whatever coolant you're using to, if you want it at 10%, 8%, 6%, that's your aim parameter. And then the Oracle system will check the coolant. Before it fills up, it'll put in the required concentration to keep it that parameter. With the pH, it measures the pH. There is a separate reservoir for pH additive, if you need that, where it can control the pH, which then basically gives you a much more stable coolant. And with that, it records all the data. The data is sent back to the data hub, and you can sit there at your PC and you can see your machines, the history, the concentration, pH. So basically, it keeps the coolant stable, it keeps everything at the desired concentration. So if you're looking for maybe process security, where you want tool life to be perfect, no tool breakages, to run over the weekend unmanned, the Oracle is the perfect system for you.
So we're now in front of the popular DMC 65 monoblock, and it's got the RPS3 automation solution on it. Neil, just give us a little bit of an overview as to the RPS system and how it integrates and yeah, the options with it.
Well, as you said correctly, the DMC 65 monoblock, which denotes a pallet on the right hand side. So we do the RPS3 and we do the RPS6. We also do a DMC 85 monoblock, which is exactly the same options as we have with the 65 monoblock, but slightly bigger. But also, we've got to say RPS3 for 3 pallets, but we do the FD version as well. So it's not just a milling system, we can do a mill turn system. So the pallets, we have round pallets because they're turning pallets.
I saw that actually in Fronton when I was there a few weeks ago. That's a very, very universal, versatile machine, isn't it? Doing your turning and your 5-axis milling. But then what we're saying is you can change the pallets on that as well. The ultimate in manufacturing flexibility.
Well, yeah, you could have milling pallets or turning pallets. It's probably better to keep the turning pallets on because then you can use it as a milling machine, use it as a turning machine, use it as a mill turn machine. So really, as long as you can fit it on the pallet, you can machine most components.
It looks like we've got about a 20-second pallet change time. Is that about right?
Yeah, 20 seconds is about right, yeah.
And the access to it's very good as well, being able to open that door. I think one of the things that I look at is the control can move to the access point of the pallet system, but it can also it's easy to get into the machine with a control and to the tool changer on the side.
Well, all the pallet management software is on the control, so you can move that round and you can actually see, and you can prioritise pallets. You can say which pallet you want. You can actually put multiple jobs on one pallet as well, so it's really flexible. You can use it with the tombstone, so you can tilt the machine around and still machine different parts on each face.
So you can almost turn it into a horizontal as well. You put your tombstone.
Yeah, you can, and you can set how many parts you want. It'll prioritise. You can say, I want pallet 1, I want pallet 5, because remembering there's a 6 pallet option as well. So really you can prioritise any pallet you want and any job you want.
Is there an advantage, do you believe, to having, because it's a DMG Mori product with obviously your control as well, the hardware and the software talking to each other, and the ease of the programming, is that important, do you think, for an operator and when you're selling these?
Yeah, I do. Well, we also do the machine with a different pallet version, which we can fit to our DMU monoblock. But when you go for this pallet system, you get everything's integrated within the control, but also we can use larger, heavier jobs with the DMC as opposed to the DMU with the PH150.
James, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. We're here at the DMG Mori open house. Now, we know Renishaw has a very strong relationship with DMG Mori, but why are you here and what are you showing? Can you tell the audience?
Yeah, so we're just showcasing the Equator 300, which we have here on my right, which is a highly repeatable and flexible gauge, effectively. We've also got a range of spindle probes and tool setting probes for machine tool. Obviously the Equator taking centre stage at the moment though. It's very good at thermal compensation. Customers use them alongside the machine tool out on the shop floor. It works basically by you have a master set of data. Every now and then, depending on your process, you remaster the part, and the Equator will take that information, feed it back into the control, and then any parts measured from there on will take into account things like thermal change.
So really you're saying it's quite a cost-effective CMM basically on the shop floor?
Yeah, so not quite as in a CMM. It doesn't work with the accuracy of a CMM in that sense. It's the repeatability of it that's important. You can use this on the shop floor without temperature controls between 5 degrees and 50 degrees, and as long as you're remastering the part, every time you get a temperature fluctuation, then that will measure the parts as if it was the start of the day or the end of the day, basically.
Now, I've seen these out in the field, and you do a larger version, which is the 500. But what I'm quite interested in, you've got a certain badge, a DMG Mori badge on that. And that's quite unique, isn't it?
Yeah, so I don't think there's too many of these, but this is obviously with the partnership we have with DMG. This is just something that's been come up with. Obviously, it's good to get them out there, and it shows DMG are taking it on and putting it out there, and customers need to see it.
And lastly, for you, what are the main benefits of partnering someone like DMG Mori at their open houses?
Well, obviously, this is aside from the big shows, this is a good opportunity to get out, meet different customers, meet other partners of the machine tool companies. Obviously DMG customers that we need to be seeing this.
That's great. Thanks very much for your time, Joe.
Thank you.
Now, two impressive things here for me on this NHX 4000. Firstly, the cutting demonstration, but then the automation. Is that the two areas that you would agree that people are interested in?
Yeah, well, most definitely. People in this country are now catching on to automation. And have you seen, there's a strong emphasis on automation throughout our show, as we did in EMO. But this particular machine is a full production machine, horizontal, 20,000 RPM, 100 RPM B-axis, direct drive, with 21 pallets. So it's designed really to run throughout the night.
You talk about 100 RPM on the B-axis. So what are you saying then? You can turn on it, or what's the?
Well, it could turn on it if we wanted to, but it's not designed for that. It's designed for very fast positioning, because it's with a direct drive or torque motor, we can achieve those speeds and also achieve the accuracy.
So, but the acceleration would be key to that then, wouldn't it? You talk about 100 RPM rotation, but getting from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. It's got to be a quick acceleration movement.
Oh yeah, it's rapid. It really is. It's very quick.
Now this is a 21 stacker system or a solution, but you can have 14 or 7 as well, can't you?
Right. Yeah, they do multiples of 7 or a twin pallet. It's that's a standard machine, and this is the NHX 4000. We do the 5000. We do the 550, and this denotes the pallet size. And we do the 6300 as well, and bigger.
Now tell me, the horizontal machine here, we've talked about 5-axis machines, putting tombstones on them because you've got pallet pulls, turning them into horizontals. Where is still the market for the horizontal machining centre, in your opinion?
It's all over, really. Anybody who wants to do high production volume milling, it'll appeal to them. As long as it doesn't go for 5-axis and you can machine it with 3 or 4-axis, the horizontal machine. We sell quite a lot every year.
And with adding more pallets to the solution, you need more tools as well. You're doing that with this machine, you may have mentioned already, but have you got an expandable tool changer?
Yeah, on this machine we've got 180 tools. We can go up to over 500 tools. But 180 tools tends to be what we put on this amount of pallets. Now, this is a stock machine, so we've got it in, so it's available at any time. But then other people probably might want to put their own slant on the spec and go for more tools, lesser pallets. It really depends on the application the machine's needed for.
So tell me about the spindle on the machine.
Okay, this machine has got 20,000 RPM Speedmaster, which was designed and built in Japan. It's also, I'd like to add, it has a 3-year warranty, and that's unlimited hours. So from the day you switch it on till for 3 years, you've got a full warranty on that.
That's interesting, because that always used to be a bit of a catch with some manufacturers. They used to say 36 months, 24 months, but one on a day shift, and that's it.
Yeah, normal. A lot of warranties on different manufacturers' machines, their time or hours. So a time period or hours, and it's whichever one comes first. On this, that's not the case. It's 3 years, and you can run it 24/7 for 3 years.
Running longer hours means influences such as heat and things can affect the growth of the machine's accuracy of parts. What do you do to compensate for that?
Well, this machine has got temperature sensors all over it. I can't tell you exactly where they are because that's confidential. So that always compensates for temperature, but also this machine is fitted with glass scales for that reason as well. But they're not strictly glass scales, they're magnet scale. And it's a company that DMG MORI bought, and they're digitally imprinted scales, so they're not optical. So they're much better to deal with oil and grease or any type of dirt, where optical scales can fail, digital scales won't.
Martin, always a common theme at DMG MORI, especially at EMO, very much automation. Now, this RobotoGo on this CTX turning machine. Now, how flexible is this?
Extremely flexible, but it's also extremely simple to use. If you don't make it simple, you simply won't use it. So RobotoGo regarding flexibility, number of different machines through our turning range, with the ability to pick it up and move it to the next machine. So if you're setting up here, you can be production somewhere else.
And what type of customers do you think this is going to appeal to?
Almost everybody, because finding the right sort of engineer just to load a machine tool is now extremely expensive. But to have the skill level that people use to set up and then have just the robot to load is definitely the way to go.
And do you think it's an advantage that DMG MORI are actually building your own automation systems, like a complete package effectively?
Absolutely. The control, the flexibility, the understanding of the customer part, the integration to the machine just makes life so much simpler for the customer.
I'm going to put you on the spot here, because when I was at EMO, and I also went to Fronton quite recently, as you well know, is the RobotoGo, is there going to be a possibility that you're making something to go from turning to milling?
Yes, the Gen 1 which we have here will be able to be fitted to both the turning and the milling machines, and it will have that flexibility, but it's still piece part. The Gen 2 unit, again, could be used on either, but it has a 3D camera for larger pallet sizes.
Well, I'm glad I heard the right version there. Thanks very much, Martin.
No problems at all. Great to see you.
Do you have problems with your coolant nozzles? Because this part is going to be your cycle time challenge, but this has been improved in its design, because on this machine, if you can think it, you can make it. Really exciting one this week, because this is a coolant nozzle. This has been built on the Lasertec machine. It takes 6 hours to build, but my cycle time challenge for you, the first part of it, is how long will it take for you to make 50 of these all in one go. So don't forget, it took 6 hours to make one, but to make 50 all in one go. Also, the cost, the conventional way of being able to make this subtractive machining, this cost approximately €250 to make. And how much now, so the second part of the cycle time challenge is how much does it cost to make this part now? Put all your guesses in the comments box below. On with the show. I've got another interesting thing to show you. Now it's down to this, all about your additive manufacturing. Originally, or a more conventional way of machining this, you would have needed 15 different parts. But on the Lasertec machine, you only do this in one go. How amazing is that? And there you have it. We've brought as much information as we possibly can from the event, of course, that came from the EMO show over in Hanover.
And one thing you've got to respect is that DMG MORI are innovators in machine tools. Automation's a big key part of that, and we've seen that here, Lyndsey, but also there's a lot of stock coming as well. So it's not just about the open house, it wasn't just about EMO, it's also about machines for the future.
Yeah, they are definitely at the forefront of technology. So what do we always say? Because it's the end of the show, Mark. I can't remember.
Something about spindles?
Yeah, keep those spindles turning.